Hi there, I'm Timothy Linsdau, video producer and a Christian, putting on my science cap today based on a new dinosaur that's been discovered in Japan that challenges the science of how dinosaurs perished. Start out with like and comment on my videos, subscribe to support my channel, it would be great. So what's the deal with this dinosaur? Well, it's a pretty much complete skeleton of a dinosaur remains that were found in Japan. Location of its fossilized remains suggests these majestic herbivores browsed ancient shorelines, expanding the knowledge of this wildly successful group of dinosaurs. New research published today in the Scientific Reports describes this species of hadrosaur, or duck-billed dinosaur. And I look at this and I think, well, it's probably very successful because it could eat vegetation, which there was a lot of, and was far more available than having to attack other ones and dinosaurs and eat them. But anyway, the nearly complete fossilized skeleton was found in what they say is a 72-million-year-old marine deposit, suggesting the creature foraged along the shoreline, a rarity for hadrosaurs. The bones of this dinosaur were found alongside fossil remains of sea turtles, mosasaurs, which is an extinct aquatic reptile looking much like a whale, modern whale, further reinforcing that this dinosaur lived by the sea. Remember that song, The Dragon by the Sea? Well, anyway. One of the researchers says this is a beautiful new dinosaur skeleton, probably one of the most important dinosaurs ever found in Japan. Okay. Hadrosaurs were a super successful group of dinosaurs that lived during the late Cretaceous period. They say between 100 million and 66 million. I mean, what does that mean? With their fossilized bones having been recovered in Eurasia, North and South America, and Antarctica. So they seem to be kind of worldwide. These herbivores could walk on either 4 or 2 legs, allowing them to graze along the ground or reach tall branches. So it'd give them a little like what we know what giraffes can do today. They can eat low foliage or high in the tree, which is to their advantage. Now, there's some interesting quandaries to this now. Each time a fossilized creature with legs is found mingled with fossil sea creatures, a new quandary for evolutionary history presents itself. When the same situation surfaces many times, that quandary multiplies. Discoveries like a new and relatively complete hadrosaur from Japan keep testing science skills to imagine ways whole dinosaurs could have been fossilized. And this is what this is about. These findings also happen to make slick-fitting pieces of the Bible picture of the past and the flood. Okay, so now we got 2 competing views. Researchers published a hadrosaur's detailed description in the online journal Scientific Reports and named the fossil, I'm not even going to try. Well, maybe I will. It looks like Camusaurus japonicus. Well, that would make sense. Hadrosaurs, known popularly as duck-billed dinosaurs, had plant-eating teeth and jaws and could walk either, as we said, 4s or in 2s. So give them a whole range of things. Gave them a lot more ability to be successful. And there's subtle differences that justify this dinosaur's new name, which could be different kinds of dogs or something. Different length forearms and tails and who knows. Hokkaido University Press released an alert noted that the remains are found in marine deposits. Now the team suggested that it preferred inhabit areas near the ocean. Mingled fossils include sea creatures, as mentioned, turtles, mosasaurs, whatever. The hadrosaur didn't have fins or flippers, so what was it doing there? And that's what brings up the question. What was it doing there? The report includes an illustration of a dramatic scene of Japanese hadrosaur dead and floating belly up in the ocean and finally sinking to be preserved in a sediment. But that's where the problem comes in. Floated out to sea explanation doesn't really work in the way animals decay after death, or what happens to their remains. We've heard this, this many times, that something died on the shore and slowly it was covered, or wherever. Here they're saying in one example it died, floated out in the ocean, and then sank. But have you ever seen what happens to a whale that dies in the ocean? Living near the ocean where I do, you see these kind of things. Well, sharks love to eat those things. And they'll tear them to pieces. Well, what's that tell you? Torn to pieces. And we probably had bigger animals in the water then would have done a lot of tearing, which means there have been pieces all over. But this particular hadrosaur they found in Japan was mostly complete. like it had died and quickly been buried, and that's the point here. So, first, what they're suggesting is animals got washed out to sea, then what kept them from getting scavenged? Whether just bones like this hadrosaur or a mummified carcass like a nodosaur described in another location. Many of these fossils don't show up so much as a tooth scrape. Now this is important. Many of these complete fossils they find, these ones that they're claiming by the water, they don't even show as much as a tooth scrape from a would-be scavenger. They don't show any evidence of being scavenged. In any normal setting, carcass feeders like clams and worms would have recycled their bodies in days, months at most. So, on goes this quandary. Where do we go? There was a nodosaur found in 2017 weighed almost 1.5 tons. But the Japanese hadrosaur weighed up to 5.3 tons. And that's over 10,000 pounds. Now, how bad does the weather need to get to flush that much bulk out to sea? That doesn't happen today in one location, let alone all over the place. Now, lastly, heavy rains can wash animals to sea, such as cows flushed from Australian floodlands a few months ago at the time of this article. But are they getting stuck in muds with clams, fish, and turtles? Are they turning into whole body fossils today? Clearly not. We need a much better explanation than they just floated out to sea. Now, the same evidence seen in Japan has already turned up in so many other places. Wetland walking dinosaurs deeply buried beside swimming sea creatures. Why not consider this? One catastrophic worldwide flood would allow this. Why not consider that? That the water of that magnitude could wash everything off of the dry earth, if you will, into the ocean. In one giant mass with a huge amount of sediment that would cover the animals nearly immediately, or destroy most of the animals all at once, so there'd be very little predation. What would be wrong with that? We've seen some massive flooding from tsunamis and how violent they are. But if you're talking about biblical flooding, which covered everything in massive amounts of water, we can argue about that point some other time. But right now, the quandary is, how did such a big animal, mixed with other marine animals, be in one solid piece without being immediately covered, sealed over, protected from scavenging, and to be fossilized and be in almost full skeletal condition? How could that happen without some catastrophic, violent, and immediate burial? Because if it isn't, it gets scavenged and thrown all over the place. And so finding these complete fossils gives us a quandary about what really happened to dinosaurs. Was it a meteorite or was it water? There you go. The challenge, the quandary, the discussions of the deep past, or was it deep or not? Who knows? So, like and comment on my video, subscribe to my channel, and, get out there, look around, research, and just make it a great day.